AI for CRE Collective, the unbiased source of truth at the intersection of commercial real estate and AI. The most powerful AI agent in the world for commercial real estate firms is Claude Cowork. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 of the most practical use cases for commercial real estate using Claude Cowork. Number 1, we are going to do a quick little underwriting use case. Number 2, we're going to do a lease abstract. Number 3, investor reporting. Number 4, we're going to do market research. Number 5, construction estimation. And then we're going to build a skill. So let's jump in. I'm going to show you how to get the most out of Claude Cowork. Here we go. So the first thing that I'm going to show you guys how to do is we're going to take an offering memorandum and we're going to map that deal to our exact underwriting model. Okay. So I already have some pre-written prompts here. I'm going to share all of these prompts with you guys afterwards. So stay tuned, stay until the end of the video, because I'm going to give you very explicit instructions on how to get those prompts. So the first prompt we are going to drag into Claude Cowork. It is a comprehensive prompt. So again, stay till the end. I'm going to show you guys how to get that prompt. All right. We're going to put that in here. And what you're going to want to do with Claude Cowork is very simple. I'm going to go into this folder I'm working within. We called it the OM to underwriting folder. So these are all the demos that I'm going to showcase to you guys. The first one is the OM to underwriting folder. All right. And what that allows Claude to do is have access to all of the files in that folder. And I'm going to just show you guys that folder so you can see what I'm talking about. We have an offering memorandum. We have our underwriting template. We have our buy box, okay, and some other good stuff. We also have that prompt as well. So I put in that prompt, I gave it access to that folder, and we are going to allow it to run. But essentially what we're doing, following the RTCF framework, the RTCF prompting framework stands for role, task, context, and format. Make sure you follow that format when prompting here. But we basically said, read the offering memorandum, map it to our exact underwriting template. All right, we're using Claude Cowork in this case, also Opus 4.8. I'm going to go ahead and hit send. And this pop-up should come up every single time. That's essentially just giving Claude access to that folder. So I'm going to click allow, and it's going to start working. And what you'll notice with Claude Cowork on the right side of the screen here is we're going to have a progress bar. So Claude is going to outline the specific steps for this particular task. Okay. And then when the outputs show up, they're all going to show up right here. And the context is that exact folder we gave it access to. So now it's reading that folder, it's reading the buy box, it's reading the Excel template, it's reading everything in there, and it's going to take the offering memorandum, map it to our exact underwriting model, which I'm going to show you guys right now. And what you'll see is that all of these inputs here in blue are going to get filled out. So this is just a basic model here. Okay, you can see several different tabs. Claude is going to take that offering memorandum, all of the assumptions from it, put it here into the model, and then the rest of the model should get updated. So we're going to let that work, and I'm going to show you guys the final result in just a moment. So we have our final output here. You can see that the exact model was used. We could show that in the folder, and because we gave it access to that specific folder, that model is going to show up right there with all of the other contents. And as you can see, Normandy, with all of the assumptions filled out in blue here, our model is fully updated. So super easy to do, super practical. And the fact is that we're using our exact underwriting model here, not any other way of analyzing the deal, the one you are most comfortable with. Let's move on to use case number 2. We are going to prepare a lease abstract. And as you can see, we still have that OM to underwriting folder saved. So we are going to get that updated. We are now going to go into our folder here. We're going to click on the lease abstract folder. I am going to copy and paste my prompt, which again, guys, I'm going to share with you at the end of this exact video here. We're going to go ahead and hit send after we click allow. Remember, that's going to happen every single time, and that is totally okay. Our progress bar is going to get filled out. Okay, we're going to include that additional context, which is that folder there. And just to give you guys a sense of what is in that folder, we have 2 leases. I'm going to pull up one for you here. Okay, a huge lease. I believe it's 50 something pages. We also have a tenant estoppel certificate. And then we have our second lease here for Summit Medical Office. So we have all of that saved. Claude is going to go work through this. And in just a moment, I'm going to show you guys the final output. So let's let it work. So we have our final output here. We got a lease abstract and an estoppel reconciliation. Okay, so if we go and look in our folder, which we gave it access to, we have both of those there, ready to go. So here's our lease abstract. We asked for several different tabs. This is very, very comprehensive. We have a summary tab, parties and premises, term and critical dates, rent schedule, reimbursements, tenant obligations, the whole nine, okay? Super comprehensive. We also have our estoppel reconciliation, which is very simple here, all right? So we're going to create a skill, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean in just a moment, all right? So that skill is going to allow us to create a lease abstract using that exact template every single time. So here we go. I'm going to use Whisper Flow. You guys know how I roll. Now, I want to use a skill, and I need your help to create it. Every time that I drag and drop a lease, or I ask you to create a lease abstract for me, I want it to be in this exact format. So please create a skill, save it as a zip file, make sure you have that lease abstract template saved as part of this skill. Feel free to ask me questions before getting started. Voice dictation is the absolute best, guys. It's so much faster than typing. We're creating a skill here. This is one of those skills that I'm going to give to you guys, so just bear with me. So it's going to ask us some questions in just a moment. Here we go. When you drop a lease without an estoppel certificate, how should the skill behave? Proceed. Skip the reconciliation. Which output files should the skill produce every time? Let's go with both files. The template workbook arrived pre-filled with a Taco Bell deal. What should the skill bundle as its template? Let's go with clean blank template. How should the skill trigger? Lease drop or request? Very good. So we've answered the questions for Claude. We've effectively minimized, any sort of assumptions. You guys know the drill. Less assumptions, less hallucinations. So let's let it create that skill. You can see some stuff happening on the right side of the screen. All is good in the world, guys, I promise you. And remember, a skill is just very specific instructions for the AI to follow, so you don't have to reprompt and give it all this context and templates and stuff over and over and over again. So we're going to come back once this is all done. We now have our skill, and I'm going to save that skill. And we also have the skill as a zip. And so if you download and open that, okay, it's going to pull up our Finder. We're going to download that zip. Boom. And then within this, okay, we're going to have scripts. We're going to have the skill MD file. We're going to have the actual asset, which is our lease abstract template, which we just asked it to save, and then references. All right. That skill is going to be available for you guys as part of watching this video. So stay tuned. We are moving on to use case number 3, ladies and gentlemen, which for this use case, we are going to do investor reporting. Say you have a ton of financials for a deal, full deal room, whatever it is, okay? And you need to update your investors. We are going to use Claude Cowork, and we're going to get out of that lease abstract folder, and we're going to go into a new folder here called the Investor Update folder. Now, in there are a ton of deal files. I'm going to pull it up for you guys just so you can see what I'm talking about. We have financials on financials on financials, guys. The whole shebang. All right? And so we're going to ask Claude to create an investor report for us based on all of these deal files that we have. Rent rolls, T12, capital expenditures, all that good jazz. So I'm going to get my prompt, and I'm going to attach this in Claude Cowork. We've already connected to our investor update folder. We're using Opus 4.8, and we're going to go ahead and hit send. allow, as usual. We're going to let this one work. It's going to start working right out the gate. And I'm going to show you guys the final result in just a moment. So we have our quarterly investor report done. Thank you, Claude Cowork. As you can see, okay, Claude did quite a bit of work. Now, let me show you guys what Claude put together because it's pretty awesome. All right, we have the quarterly report in a PDF format. And if we want to go ahead and download that, we could certainly do it. Pull it up like this. Boom. Look how beautiful this quarterly report is. Oh my God. Everything sourced, all the deal financials that we gave to it. This is unbelievably gorgeous, guys. Unbelievably gorgeous. And we have all this saved in our deal folder. And with that, we are moving on to use case number 4, ladies and gentlemen. And in this use case, we're going to do some market research. And not just any market research, okay? This is very, very important because we are going to cite all of our sources. Absolutely critical. So we're going to get out of that investor update folder. We're going to pop into a new folder on our desktop. This one we have here is market research, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to pull that up. I'm going to go and get my prompt. And in this example, we are going to be analyzing the Denver market. Denver, Colorado, for those of you guys that are not familiar. So, out of that prompt, out of that folder, we're going to allow, and we're going to go ahead and get started with this market research. Just like the investor report, look how sexy this report is. I'm going to pull it up right now. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Everything is cited. These are facts. And anything that is not a fact, okay, we had Claude qualify it. And that's super important with AI generated outputs. All right. You need to have it cite all the sources. Okay. And for anything that it could not find or could not verify, you needed to call that out. So that is incredibly important here, guys. Super easy to do. I'm going to hand you that prompt so you guys can do it on your own. Look at all these sources and assumptions here at the bottom of this report. Absolutely brilliant. Good job, Claude. Moving on to use case number 5. This is one of my favorite use cases, guys, but I must caution you in advance that construction takeoffs and estimates are very comprehensive, and you cannot expect perfect results from AI. In fact, you will not be getting perfect results with AI, but absolutely, without a doubt, Claude Cowork can fast track, all right, your understanding of the plans, can help you do quantity takeoffs, and can give you a good sense of where costs might be. And we're going to ask it to put together multiple different scenarios, a base case, a conservative case, a worst case for this. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take this set of plans, all right, and it's just a schematic design set, but I am going to ask Claude to do a very deep dive construction estimate for us here. So let's throw in that prompt. We're not even going to give it the plan set. We're going to hit rock and roll as we speak, hit allow, and we are rolling. Wow, 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 wow. Our construction takeoff is finalized and complete, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to download this. The coolest part is that it is saved in that exact folder, so we can access it there. I'm just going to pull it up this way. Look at how comprehensive our estimate is here, okay? So on tab number 1, we have our cover and readme. Then we have our executive summary. Look at these beautiful charts. Oh my goodness. Like I said, we have the low, base, and high case of costs. Here's the actual takeoff. Look how detailed and comprehensive this is. It actually took off all of these different quantities here, itemized it. Here's the actual cost estimate for us to look at. division roll-up, unit costs, allowance register, contingency, benchmarks, assumptions. Come on. Unbelievable. Now, again, you cannot trust this 100%, but whoa, brilliant. So definitely practical use case here, using Claude Cowork to review a set of plans and put together a comprehensive takeoff and estimate. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moving on to our last and final use case. We're going to build an underwriting skill, one of the 2 skills I'm going to share with you guys. And it's very easy to set up. And all we need is just a prompt. Okay? And the idea here is that we're going to build a repeatable process for screening deals, ladies and gentlemen. So let's give it access to that folder there. It's probably going to ask us some questions. It might not. However, the idea is that we will trigger this skill anytime we want to underwrite a deal, and it is going to fast track the process for understanding, should we look further at this deal? Should we pass on this deal? What are the questions we need to know about this deal? What are the risks? What are the red flags? All of it. Okay. So let's give it a second to work here. We're going to keep you guys updated on the process here. As you can see on the top right of the screen, it's going to write the deal screener skill. It's going to build the clean zip package, which we could easily download. It's going to validate the structure and deliver. So we'll be back in just a second. So our skill is now complete. You can download and open it if you'd like. It's a zip file. So you could open up that zip file and voila. And it's pretty simple. It's just a skill.md file. But what you want to do is close Claude, the desktop app, because I'm going to show you how to trigger this skill. So our skill is done. We saved it as a zip file. We're going to download and open it. All right. It is a zip file. So there you go. Now we're going to store this where our skills live. Okay. So you're going to hit customize. You're going to go to add. We're going to upload a skill. And I'm going to drag and drop that zip file. Boom. We're going to replace that previous skill. I had another one there. Okay. And now we have the deal screener skill. So what we need to do is we need to exit out of Claude and reload the desktop app. Because what we're going to be able to do now is hit backslash. So we're going to open Claude back up. Let's go over to customize. You'll see our skills. Let's turn this one on. All right, now let's just try it. Okay, so all we have to do is hit backslash deal screener. You can drag and drop an OM. You can give it access to a folder where there's already existing OMs or whatever it is. But now we could screen deals very easily with this skill, which I am going to give it to you guys. The skills, the prompts, are going to be available in the description of this video. Ladies and gentlemen, it'll be very easy for you to access. We just showed you guys how to use the most powerful AI agent for commercial real estate in the world. We showed 6 practical use cases. We have hundreds more just like this inside the AI for CRE Collective. Go to aiforcrecollective.com. I promise you, you will not regret it. We will see you next time.